Symbolism in The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz was written by the American author L. Frank Baum. It tells the story of Dorothy, a young girl who ends up in a tornado and gets carried from her Kansas farm home to an unknown land, Oz. After Dorothy's house falls on and accidentally kills the Wicked Witch of the East in Munchkinland, Dorothy is welcomed to her new land by the Munchkins because she freed them from the bondage of the witch. The Good Witch of the South, Glinda, then explains to Dorothy that in order to get back home, she needs to follow the yellow brick road to reach the Emerald City. There, she needs to ask the Wizard of Oz how to get back home to Kansas. On her way down the yellow brick road, Dorothy meets some new friends who all have something to ask the Great Wizard. However, when they finally get to the Emerald City and meet the Wizard of Oz, they discover he is just a liar and that everything they have been searching for can be found within themselves. Having been frequently dramatized into movies and musicals, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz is one of the best-known classics among children and adults alike. However, it is not just an entertaining story. There are many symbols in it to think about. Here are some intriguing examples. First, take a close look at the title, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Oz here is not just a simple name of a place, but the abbreviation for ounce, a measure for gold and silver. And this interpretation may lead us to think about the standard monetary system of the time. In the 1890s, Midwestern and Southern American farmers and small business owners insisted that the silver standard be used together with the traditional gold standard. They believed that the silver standard could put more money in the market and help it circulate, which could help them pay off their debts more easily. In the story, Dorothy acquires a pair of silver slippers after she accidentally kills the Wicked Witch of the East. Some people interpret the silver slippers as a symbol of the silver standard, implying that Baum might have been suggesting that the silver and gold standards together could make a better future with more money. Also, the silver slippers have magical power that can take Dorothy back home, of which she is unaware. Only after meeting Glinda, the Good Witch of the South, in the last scene of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, does Dorothy realize the power of the slippers and find her way back home. Some suggest that the slippers represent Dorothy's own potential power. She has them, but she just doesn't know how to use them. Only after all of her adventures can she tap into the power of the slippers and use them to get what she wants. Dorothy takes the yellow brick road to reach the Emerald City and meet the Wizard of Oz. Here is another symbol. A road is usually understood as the journey of life that everyone has to take. The journey may be filled with thrills and dangers, but we can also learn many precious lessons from the journey of our life. The yellow brick road may also represent Dorothy's journey. On the way to the Emerald City, she finds that the adventures outside her sheltered life are exciting but dangerous. She also learns about the real meaning of growing up and the comforts of home. A road usually promises something wonderful at its end, and Dorothy's journey implies that we need to summon our own courage while we take our own journey and realize the important meaning in our life. When Dorothy and her friends reach the Emerald City, the Wizard of Oz sends them to kill the Wicked Witch of the West in exchange for their wishes to be granted. The Wicked Witch of the West immediately attacks them with her beasts, birds, black bees, and slaves, and she tries to steal the magical silver slippers off Dorothy's feet. Dorothy pours a bucket of water onto the witch, soaking her from head to foot. To Dorothy's surprise, the water causes her to simply melt away like brown sugar. Here we see that during Dorothy's journey, she finds out that wicked witches are just ordinary people. We've all had wicked witches in our lives. For example, difficult problems, scary people, or other types of adversity. They seem to take great joy by making our lives miserable. Although they may be extremely threatening, the scary things in our life are only as scary as we let them be. We don't have to be scared. We just need to be brave. Over time, there have been many interpretations of the Wonderful Wizard of Oz. However, L. Frank Baum never revealed his true intentions with respect to his work to anyone, meaning that there will always be varying interpretations. So, you can interpret the story any way you want, as long as you can support your ideas. It could just be a story for children, a political commentary, or a call for self-help and self-reliance. The next time you read this story, look for hidden symbols others have never found before. The Little Prince. Now there were some terrible seeds on the planet that was the home of the Little Prince, and these were the seeds of the baobab. The soil of that planet was infested with them. A baobab is something you will never be able to get rid of if you attend to it too late. It spreads over the entire planet. It bores clear through it with its roots, and if the planet is too small and the baobabs are too many, they split it into pieces. It is a question of discipline, the little prince said to me later on. When you finish your own toilet in the morning, then it is time to attend to the toilet of your planet just so, with the greatest care. You must see to it that you pull up regularly all the baobabs at the very first moment when they can be distinguished from the rose bushes which they resemble so closely in their earliest youth. It is very tedious work, the little prince added, but very easy. And one day he said to me, "You ought to make a beautiful drawing, so that the children where you live can see exactly how all this is. That would be very useful to them if they were to travel someday. Sometimes there is no harm in putting off a piece of work until another day. But when it is a matter of baobabs, that always means a catastrophe." I knew a planet that was inhabited by a lazy man. He neglected 3 little bushes. So, as the little prince described it to me, I have made a drawing of that planet. I do not much like to take the tone of a moralist, but the danger of the baobabs is so little understood, and such considerable risks would be run by anyone who might get lost on an asteroid, that for once I am breaking through my reserve. Children, I say plainly, watch out for the baobabs. My friends, like myself, have been skirting this danger for a long time, without ever knowing it, and so it is for them that I have worked so hard over this drawing. The lesson which I pass on by this means is worth all the trouble it has cost me. Perhaps you will ask me, why are there no other drawings in this book as magnificent and impressive as this drawing of the baobabs? The reply is simple. I have tried, but with the others I have not been successful. When I made the drawing of the baobabs, I was carried beyond myself by the inspiring force of urgent necessity.